Hello everyone, and thank you for watching my 248 video tutorial. In this lecture I wanted to talk about touch input because we gotta have touch controls on devices like mobile phones and tablets. But first I would like to address another issue. I have spotted a little bug in my code, so of course I wanted to tell you about it. And this bug is located in my game manager, namely in my method IEnumeratorMoveCoroutine. So it's in the move coroutine. And the problem is with these couple of lines that say else and then state equals game state playing, and it's actually not with what they say but with where they are, because I am changing my state to game state playing only if we have made a move. So the problem occurred when I pressed the right key, for example, and if there were no available moves in the right direction but there were available moves in all other directions. If I did this, my state never came back to this game state playing because there was no actual move made, and we want to return back to our game state playing even if we haven't made any moves. So I'll just delete this code else state equals game state playing. I will press Ctrl X and I can paste it right after this if statement, Ctrl V, and I'll delete the else. So the proper place for this code is right after this if statement when we are checking if we have made a move. So again, this bug occurred because we want to change our game manager's state to game state playing in the end of our move coroutine, regardless of whether or not we have moved actual tiles or merged actual tiles. So this should happen in any case, and that's why we had to move this state equals game state playing outside of this if statement. And once we have done that, I have added another class to our project that is called Touch Input Manager. And I don't want to get into much detail with this one, so we'll just take a look at this code and I will tell you how it works in general. There is a wide variety of similar classes on the internet, so you don't have to write your own. I have found mine following this URL address, so I have left it here for you in case you want to visit the developer's website. And then I have redesigned it a little bit to fit our needs. So I have added a couple of things. First, this class should also know about the existence of our game manager. So there's the code that will get the reference to our game manager. It is absolutely similar to the code that we have in our input manager. And then I have also slightly modified this update function. So we're going to look for touches only if our game manager state equals to game state playing. So if our game state is other than game state playing, we will skip this update method altogether. And for working with touches, Unity has several special properties in its input class. So we can see that it has input touch count, which reflects the number of touches that we currently have on the screen. So we are checking for swipes only if our touch count is greater than 0, so if the user is touching the screen. And then all the information about our touches is stored in our input touches, and Unity actually has a separate class for touches that is called touch, and touches have phases. Touch phase is basically an enum, so the switch statement is similar to the ones that we have in our game manager move method. So then in this code, each touch is examined for its phase, and if touch phase has begun, it means that it could be a swipe. And then this code just examines all the touches in this input touches, which is actually an array that holds touches, and it just detects swipes for us. So if I scroll down a little bit, we can see that we have these useful comments included. So this is the code block that will be responsible for moving right. This is the code block that is responsible for moving left, up and down. So we just have to put all the code that we want to be executed in these situations and it will all work. And for our game, I have made it similar to our input manager that we have made ourselves. So in case of moving right, I am calling the method move of our game manager and I'm sending move direction right. And similar things I am doing in all the other cases. So actually this is it, and I have included this class in case you would like to build your game for mobile devices like Android or iOS phones and tablets, and I have checked it, it will work. So the last thing that we want to do is we can go to Unity and here in Unity we can attach this class touch input to our canvas, and I will just drag it here onto the inspector and release, and this class will actually have no conflict with our input manager because they are doing different things. But it is definitely not necessary to have our touch input manager turned on when we are testing our game on the PC, so I can just disable this script by deselecting this check mark. But don't forget to turn it back on if you would like to compile this game for mobile devices. And this is the last video where we will discuss the actual development of this game. In the next video we will wrap up the information that we have learned, and I will share my thoughts about the 2 for 8 game in general and its game mechanic, because I think that it's hugely underestimated, and we can use similar game mechanic to the one that we have in 2 for 8 to build other very interesting games. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.